my name is Elina, I'm a watercolor artist and educator, and in this video I'll show you how to create depth when painting landscapes. Let's get started. Here are the materials I'll be using today. The paper is 500 series ready cut watercolor paper by Strathmore. It's 100% cotton and 300 GSM, and it's 8 by 10 inches. I've already taped it to the board that comes with the package, using paper tape to keep it in place and prevent buckling. I also sketched the composition in advance. If you'd like to follow along, you can pause here and copy it. Pay special attention to the proportions of the road. If not rendered correctly, the path will easily give away the wrong perspective and disrupt the sense of depth we are trying to achieve. The paints I'm using are from the MaimeriBlu landscape theme set. This one is the Tuscany set. I found the colors in this set very unique and each has its own character. All of the colors are single pigmented and have excellent light fastness. I've already squeezed a small amount of each onto my ceramic palette. Let's start painting. Once again, I'll use my paper tape by placing it below my board to create a slight slope. Then I'll start by wetting the entire sheet. I'll try to paint everything in one go, leaving just the small houses to paint on dry paper. That's why I'm thoroughly wetting the sheet. I want to soak it well so that I can work wet and wet for longer. Oh, I forgot to mention the brushes. Seems like I was too eager to start painting. My brushes are by Princeton. The flat wad is from their Neptune series and the others are from the Aqua Elite series. It's a very well-rounded set for landscapes. Now let's get back to painting. I switch to a round brush and take some cobalt green bluish to paint the sky. I leave a few white areas for the clouds and drag the color down until the mountains in the distance are covered as well. Then I go back to my palette, pick up more pigment and add it mostly to the upper part of the sky. This is the first trick for creating depth in our landscape. The sky becomes less saturated the farther it is from us, so we make it more intense at the top of the painting. Now I wash my brush and blend the pigment gradually. I'm re-wetting the rest of the painting to make sure it has enough moisture for me to continue working wet on wet. Now I'll mix dragon's blood with cobalt green bluish to create a grayish color for the distant mountains. I'm picking up paint from different areas of the palette to keep it interesting. Sometimes more reddish, sometimes more bluish. If the paint spreads too much, you can dab your brush on a towel or wait a minute before continuing. By painting the mountains with a muted color, we enhance the sense of depth. Again, following the rules of perspective, colors in the distance are more bluish and less saturated. Now I switch to my flat brush to re-wet the next area I'll be working on, and I also use it to lift any unwanted paint that spread too far. Next, we'll start gradually increasing the vibrancy of our colors. I take some cobalt green and mix it with my grayish blend. With this, I'll paint the hills in the distance. Then I take some green gold and add it where I see yellow areas in the reference photo. For the distant hills, I use horizontal strokes, while in the foreground I add thicker strokes that gradually become thinner as they recede into the distance. This emphasizes depth. Next to the house, I see some trees or bushes, so I'll add them too. Let's drop in some cobalt green. If I mix dragon's blood with it, I get a very dark green, perfect for painting cypresses. Now let's take some cupric green light and mix in a bit of green gold. This will warm it up and make it look more natural. I will use this color for the green hills. Once again, I use horizontal strokes in the distance. I'll add this green area on the other side of the road as well. Now I add more dragon's blood to intensify the green and increase the contrast here. This is another trick for emphasizing that higher contrast in the foreground and lower contrast in the background. I add a few more strokes, then switch to sap green. Since it's an opaque color, I can use it to enhance the greenery in the distance. Adding more pigment here further increases the contrast. Now let's paint the road. I take some dragon's blood and cover the road area with a watery mixture. In the foreground, I add more intense color to the yellow areas. I'm jumping from area to area like this because we need to work on everything simultaneously, otherwise the paper will dry unevenly. When we add more color to a specific area, we also add moisture, keeping it wet for longer. Now I add darker lines to the road using a mix of dragon's blood and cobalt green bluish. The lines are thicker at the bottom and gradually become thinner as they recede into the distance, until they disappear. I use a damp brush to blend the colors. Some darker details here and there. Some splatters. And a few blades of grass in the foreground. By making the foreground more detailed, just by adding some grass or splatters, we enhance the sense of depth. Now let's paint the larger cypresses on the side. Adding some smaller ones in the distance as well. A few more splatters, first with clean water, then with green, Let's try yellow too. This yellow is transparent, so it might not be very visible. Some final touches. And let's leave it to dry. Now all that's left is to paint the houses to complete our landscape. I take a smaller brush and pick up a watery mix of dragon's blood. Since it's mixed slightly with cobalt green bluish, it's a bit muted. I cover the entire area of the houses with this color. Then I take some of that darker brown and use it to add details, the roof and windows. I'll take dragon's blood straight from the tube to add a few darker spots. Some final details around the houses. Now I'll add texture to the road using a dry brush. If it looks too pronounced, you can soften it with a clean brush. A bit of texture on the hills as well. Some details on dry in the foreground. This area looks a bit empty, so let's add some greenery. Sometimes I like to add smudges with thick paint. It makes the painting feel more expressive and dynamic. And here it is. Let's remove the masking tape. Our fresh Tuscanian landscape is complete. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time.